Oh yeah. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. It's the best. It's the best part of the evening when we get to randomly go live. So we are just randomly live. We'll give you guys some time to jump in the room. I bought some water today because we ain't about to be out here. We ain't about to be out here looking all dry. So I definitely bought some water. If you are on the gram, what's up, gram? Hey, you already know what it is. You already know what it is. We live, baby. That's right, Marcus. If you are on the gram, I'm inviting you to get on YouTube. All three of y'all. Because we get ready to go over a few things on the video. See, you probably can't see that, but I got the chat window live and clear right up front. Somebody said, let me get food for the next couple of hours. Hopefully we ain't going to go that long today. We can go for about an hour today. We're going to definitely go for about an hour today. So, just got done with some editing. Okay. Do we find a way to join the membership with the mobile phone? Robbie asks. Robbie, it should let you depending on the phone. Like it's on iPhones, I'm able to join now. You may have to update the app. That's the only thing that's holding you back. There should be a join now button on the app. I see all this love happening on the gram. Hold up, let me holler at these people real quick. All my grammars, all my Instagrammers, you want to make sure you jump on the YouTube side of things. All my YouTubers, how we sounding? How we looking? We sounding good? Everything good? Before we get started, I got the comments big as I don't know what over here. I'm actually not that blind, but I also got them here. Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, somebody said, what up, Chicago, Detroit, the best of the Midwest. Hey, Ali, I'm from the D, so that's what's up. I need y'all to go ahead and all my YouTubers, people on the gram, I'm gonna give y'all some time to get on YouTubers, but you know how I like to get started, YouTube. Let's talk about where y'all from. Let's represent where y'all from. If you out of the country, if you out of America, let's talk about it. Let's see it. Represent where you from. Real quick, Mississippi. Hey, I lived in Mississippi for a short time, and it was completely different than what I thought it was gonna be. It was like lower Mississippi, like Biloxi area, Ocean Spring, palm trees, casinos, and beaches. I would have never thought of that being from the north, living in Mississippi. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was good times, though. I met great people down there. All my grammars, hey, y'all might as well come on over to the YouTube side of things. Come on over to the YouTube world because we're getting ready to go. We live on YouTube. We're getting ready to shut it down. Ocean Springs, yes, sir. I was out there. I like Ocean Springs. Ocean Springs is the truth. Did a lot of good fishing out there. Whole lot of good fishing out there. East Coast, Maryland on the gram. I lived out in Maryland too, Fort Meade. So I had a good time. Lex from Sydney. Lex is coming far. Seattle, Oakland. I was out in Seattle, Oakland. I was out there about 2 years ago to see a 49ers versus the Lions game. And of course, you know, Detroit checking in. Okay, KP, born and raised in the D. Born and raised. I love to see Germany. Hey, Lug, let me see where in Germany. Give me a little more. Give me a city or something. Shoot, Maryland. Somebody say, bro, you need to slow down on the uploads. I can't keep up with the content. Hey, with what's going on right now, I ain't got nothing to do but upload. I ain't got nothing to do. Connecticut. I've driven through Connecticut. Never stopped. Trinidad. That's what I'm talking about, Lit City. I like that name, Lit City. That's dope. Okay. Somebody said, I'm getting ready to go into the military. Have you signed up yet? Do you know what your MOS is? Gold Squad. Hey, James, for sure. Gold Squad in the house. Everybody that just chimed in on the gram, we getting ready to, hey, Griffin, I hear you on the vlogs. I'm going to do a little more. You know, with business slowing down with what's going on, it's a little difficult to do, but I'm going to do more vlogs. Actually, the vlogs originally was posted for the member section. They get to view it, and then they'll go live. There are some that I'm going to just keep for members. But if you're on the gram, all 7 of y'all, make sure y'all log into YouTube. Tampa Bay. How y'all feeling about that Tom Brady thing, Tampa? How y'all feeling about that? I got some people out there that's, you know, they was Jameis Winston guys. So, how you feel about that Tampa Bay? what's going on. All my gold members, just post some gold in the house. All my silver members represent. All my members, period, just represent for me real quick. All right, Graham. Hey, Graham, we about to switch over. Instagram, you good, YouTube. We about to switch over to 100% YouTube. Make sure you are on the YouTube channel. If you follow me on the gram, you had to hear about me from YouTube. So make sure you're on YouTube, because we're getting ready to shut the gram off, because I just like to get everything on one place. So I will see everybody in the gram on YouTube. All right. Bet. Unfortunately, the gram don't let you you can't go through a service that will allow you to stream on everything, including the gram. So it kind of sucks. Let me see. Let me make sure the gram good. 1 second. What's up? Y'all in the area that's on full lockdown yet? Is everybody locked down? Somebody said, should I continue with school or should I start my video business? Depends what you're in school for. If you're in school for video production, you can start your business. You got to learn. You got to learn. It's funny, I'm getting a lot of emails about, Frederick, you say you in Dallas? You up the street. You could have just sat in the office, bro. You up the street. That's what's up. Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for a minute. I lived in Atlanta for about 6 years. Forever, I love Atlanta. I stayed in the Lithonia area. Then I moved out to Norcross. Do school on the side and get that money. Man, it depends. Are you paying for it? Is it a GI Bill? Nashville. I love Nashville. Good barbecue. The D not locked down yet. Let's talk about school for a second. It depends, man. So I went to Full Sail for digital cinematography, right? I can almost tell you that 98.5% of what I learned in school does not apply to my everyday life running this production company. And I'm just going to be real with you. No knock on Full Sail. See, the thing that schools try to get you with is the idea of film, like film. You want to be a film, this, film, that. You want to film. But if you're not, like, I don't want to say film is an old direction to go into as far as a career field. But they're training you to work on set, to network. They're training you to go get coffee and stuff and work your way up as a grip, and then maybe you can get the lights. Like, they're training you that method. They're not teaching you the business side of how to go out and make money for yourself. That's the thing that I just wasn't crazy about. The gram made me delete my video for copyright. It was completely mine, no music. I'm copyrighted through Google. Could it be? I'm not sure, Lisa. To shoot me the video. Shoot me the video they had you to delete, or shoot me a link so I can look at it. Eli, thanks for flexing fueling the entrepreneurs. Fire, Eli, with the first super chat of the day. Eli, good looking out, brother. Hey, entrepreneur. Like, if you read the book End of Jobs, like, being an entrepreneur is inevitable. Like, you have to develop that skill. Because businesses are getting away from full-time employees, and they're going more towards freelancing, like projects, right? Projects. So you have to get away from the idea of thinking that you're going to work at your same job for 30 years. And the sooner you get comfortable being uncomfortable, the better you'll be. So you definitely want to get that entrepreneurial mindset. It's funny because you meet so many people that do like Uber, right? And they're like, I'm an entrepreneur because I do Uber. Not really. Uber can say you can't drive for them no more, and you're jacked. You don't know how to get the customer. Like driving is the easy part. It's the job of Uber, right? You don't know how to bring in new clients. That's the hard part. Do I think Full Sail helped with anything in my career? No. The best training I ever got in my career was in the military. When I went to DINFOS, which is the Defensive Information kind of academy out in Fort Meade, Maryland. I'm gonna put it to you like this: if you wanted to drive a tank, like if your job was tank driver in the military, the training was like 12 weeks. If you went for photography and videography, it was like 52 weeks. Like it was no joke. And I didn't understand, when you go into training, like real training for photography, you're like, what could they possibly teach you? You just look through the site and point, and like, what could they possibly teach you for 52 weeks? And on the end of that 52 weeks, you realize that they even crammed it. They crammed everything you needed into that. I was a medic. That was 16 weeks. A medic. And that's to be not a paramedic, but like an EMT. That was like 16 weeks, 26 weeks. Photography and videography was like 52 weeks of training. It's no joke. It's no joke. So how do you find consultants to help business? We offer a consultant. If you go to Flash Film Academy and click on consultants, we can definitely help you out. So, ICB said, I'm trying to decide between Air Force, Army, and Air Force. I want to do camera stuff. I made a 62 on the ASVAB. I'm about to sign up after I graduate. Okay, let me tell you the difference. And I'm going to be honest with you. Air Force is going to be a cakier ride. It's going to be a pretty chill, awesome situation. The hard part on that is going to be a better way of living. It's going to be a better way of life. You're not going to touch a weapon. You ain't going to be able to do I'm not going to say you ain't going to be able to do all the grunt stuff, all the kick in doors and wave in the fofo, and you ain't going to be able to do all that. You ain't going to have the cool pictures with the M4. However, with the Army, your job is guaranteed if you can choose it before you leave. With the Air Force, the last time I checked, you got to pick 5 jobs, and whatever one they needed the most, you go into. With the Army, it's you know what you are before you sign. You do not leave and commit to something and not know what you are. So that's the difference. Let's see. Consulting work in general, like I'm gonna be honest with you, like I signed up for SCORE. I signed up for a lot of stuff. It's difficult finding a mentor in this industry because you got to realize that this industry is really, really new. When you think about cameras, you think about they've been around, video cameras been around forever, but the content we create it's only been affordable for really like the past maybe 10 years. I don't even think it's been 10. I really think it's like 5 to 8. You know what I mean? Like, have you seriously been on social media for 10 years? Maybe if you go back to like the MySpace, but companies wasn't putting commercials on MySpace like that. Like companies wasn't creating video for stuff like that. Like this is a really new industry. This is an extremely new industry that is 5 to 8 years old. And you got to think, typically when an event happened, it takes 4 years to reach like the history books, and then it take another 4 years for it to reach the classroom. So kids in school they're just now starting to really read about like Desert Storm and stuff like that. So when it comes to marketing and the business side and creating the job and creating all of the literature and content around teaching this, it's just now maybe starting to hit the school books. But you got to also realize that colleges don't create entrepreneurs. Colleges create workers. So you're not going to see a lot of this stuff. And there's no knock on college. They just teach you how to get a degree so you can get a dope job. They don't teach you how to leave a college and go start a business. It don't happen. Even if you get an MBA, you learn how to run somebody else's company. That's why a lot of your very successful business owners, the Bill Gates, all those guys quit college and they just started to do it. No knock on college though. If you go in, there's a lot of great things to learn. However, it's just not built to push out entrepreneurs. Just got a new camera, trying to get some side work. I recommend you start with a website. Your camera ain't got nothing to do with your ability to bring in business. I can bring in business with an iPhone. It's all about the business side of things. If you don't got that foundation, if you don't got the brand, and your camera don't even matter. I'm telling you, you can show up and shoot with a 5D Mark II. That's as far back I'm gonna go with digital cameras and filming. Randy said, can you give me an insight on packaging, products, books, etc.? What are some of the things that you would include in a package? Give me an example of what do you mean, what type of package? STE say no Red Bull today. Man, last time I drank that Red Bull, I was up to like 4 o'clock in the morning. I started to come back. I think I did like 3 lives that day. It was too much. I started to come back on here, but I didn't want to bug y'all. IBC, the Air Force, you just got, listen, we go places, we set up tents in the Army, we go to sleep outside. The Air Force will have a hotel. So, you know, that's just the difference. It depends what you like. Some people, listen, I enjoy being dirty, being out in the field, blowing stuff up. I enjoy being a soldier. Like, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, I just liked it. You know what I'm saying? Some people like that rugged, dirty feel with just you in full battle rattle with it was something like, to me, I remember the first day I went full battle rattle. So full battle rattle is when you get your body armor, your gear, you got your weapon, like you look in the mirror and you are fully maxed out as a soldier. It's like being a juggernaut on Call of Duty. Like you are here, right? I remember the first time I felt that. I felt just like the best person. I felt great. You got to realize that at that moment, yes, 25 Victor still exists. At that moment, you are a part of one of the most elite fighting forces to ever grace this earth. You are a warrior. You know what I'm saying? You ever see like when they have like natives just face painted and they just like, you are a warrior. And it feels good. I don't know if other branches experience that. I don't know if a guy in the Navy experienced that. Maybe Marines, but I don't know if an Air Force guy experienced that. And for me, I felt badass. I felt as badass as you can possibly feel. I felt like I was, I was one of the, the baddest guys on the planet, and you are. So that felt like something to me. And you still can take the smart route in the Army. You ain't got to be kicking indoors. Bobby said, I feel bad saying anything negative about film schools since I never went, but I've been asked to speak in several. So I said for years, take business and communication type classes. Yeah. I mean, you look, school it's not there to create business owners. You have to realize that. Are there some things you can take away from it to build your business? Yes. But they're not going to finish. When you finish, they're not going to push you out the door with what you need to go start a business. You're still going to have a lot of learning to do. So you can almost self-educate yourself now and take a separate path. And it's kind of like you can go to school and get a degree in like something in criminal, right? Or you can join to be a police officer now, and in 4 years, you both going to be up for detective, right? One of you going to have 4 years on the street, 4 years with your gun, 4 years of shooting, 4 years of, dealing with the real side of it. And the other one is going to have 4 years of books and some book knowledge. And you're going to face different challenges. You know what I'm saying? But I'd much rather have the 4 years of street knowledge. That's just me. Army guys. Somebody said they from 82nd. Zig Vision say from 82nd. Much love to 82nd. I was out there at Bragg right with you guys, right across the street. Let me see. KP Crown Me said, I got my first camera about a month ago. Been shooting vids and pictures. Have a small YouTube channel. Definitely going in the videography business. Any tips? Got name, logo, next, domain. If you look at the video I just dropped, which I'm doing the follow-up for, if you look at that video, it talk about the first 6 things you need to do to go into business. What's the biggest advantages of silver membership versus bronze? Okay, a few things. Bronze is just a way to support the channel. You just get emojis and things like that. Silver membership, you'll get access to silver and gold membership only live chats. So smaller chats, and in those live chats, and which I'm gonna talk about a little later, we're gonna talk more about people's work. Like, cause I'm asking people to submit their websites, submit their demo reels. Gold will get to submit their demo reels. Silver will get the opportunity to see what's going on, but we will have the ability to look at your work and specifically say, you need to change this. This needs to change. This may be turning people off. So you kind of get more of like a consultant, like one-on-one consultant almost. Not one-on-one because it'll be other people, but you'll get just different consulting. Canon EOS R5. The Canon EOS R5 is coming. I need to see more about it. I don't trust Canon until I get it. No disrespect to Canon, but they let me down a little too much. Are you talking about the new one? No, that's not the new one. I'm thinking about the new one that everybody's talking about. This is the R8. Let me see. Yeah, I've seen the R5. I'm thinking about the R8. Am I willing to visit IG pages to critique it? Yeah, I don't. You know how I am. IG is a nice to have. I think it fits a different place in the business side of things, but it's not. Some people say they get a lot of business from IG. I find it difficult for somebody who have never heard of you, who are actively looking to find you on IG. Now, there may be people who just on IG and they're like, oh, this guy dope, save him. And then when I need something, I can go back and think about him. But I like to be in front of active customers because they're ready to buy now. You feel me? So we'll definitely look at IGs as well. Who do I speak to at companies such as Haverty's to land work? And can you give an example pitch to give us an approach? Zig Vision say, the thing is this. Remember I told you in another video, if you build it, they will come. I build a brand that serves a purpose to them. I market that brand and they call me. So I don't have to go and seek out who, I don't have to be like, who in your, I don't got to do all that. They'll come to me. And I think a lot of people think that businesses work like that, where you run up and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Think about it like this, right? A plumber is not going to call your house and say, who in there makes the decision on whether or not you're going to get your plumbing fixed? It's just impossible. They don't work like that. However, what they do is make sure they're in the places they need to be so that when you look for plumbers, they're available and they're there, and I think that's something that a lot of people get into business. They think they can just walk up and be like, yo, I got a camera. You need a video. It don't work like that. That is the hardest way to do business. It just don't work like that. You want to put yourself in a position where when people need you, you look like the best solution or you offer the best solution. Your thoughts on offering companies weekly content for flat rates. Stay tuned. I got a video talking about subscriptions that's in the process of being edited because that's where we're going. Canon confirmed uncropped 8-bit or 8K at 30 frames a second on the R5, but I can guarantee you it's 8-bit for yep. I gotta get that camera in my hand before I even get excited about it. I got to. I'm just gonna be real with you. If you think Canon about to drop an 8K and Blackmagic not, or Sony not, you may want to stay tuned. I guarantee you before it hits shelves, one, if not both of those companies make a big announcement just to make you be like, I was going to get this, but I'm going to hold on to my money and wait for the Sony or whatever. Who do I recommend for business cards? I have some business cards. Hold up. Give me a second. I got some. Because we had that conversation last time. Where's my business cards? Sit tight. I got business cards. Let me get business cards. I just had some business cards, and I put them up because I knew we were going to be talking about them. All right. I don't know where they're at. But I have business cards, and I thought I had over here, but I guess not. I went with a company called Cheap Prints, and they gave me a thick business card with like a red strip. It was pretty dope. Oh, I missed the super chat. Frank, #1 friend. Hey, good looking out on the super sticker. My guy. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. I love talking to y'all. When will I have one-on-one sessions available? I have some now. If you go to Flash Film Academy and click on consultant, I have them now. They are available right now where you can book one-on-ones. I actually opened up a lot of evenings because a lot of people were saying, hey, I wanted to go through you, but I didn't have evenings. You didn't have evenings available. So Let's see. What are my thoughts about demand fulfillment Google versus demand generation Facebook? Right now, nothing beats Google. Google's a search engine. Nothing beats Google. Nothing. Look, your return on investment, if you're getting into business, right? Your greatest return on investment is simply to get in front of hungry customers. Customers that saying, I need this now, who do it? Not customers who are minding their business and they're like, oh, video production company, nice. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a greater return on investment. That is why Yellow Pages was so successful. Yellow Pages was, listen, I used to work for Yellow Pages, right? Them plumbers would be spending $4,000 a month. Them lawyers would be spending $5,000 a month to be in the Yellow Pages. Because it was just a book full of hunger. You didn't touch a Yellow Page unless you needed something. Right? You didn't care. Your Yellow Pages would be holding up your coffee table. You didn't care about your Yellow Pages until you had a pipe that bust, or, you know what I'm saying, you had bugs or something, and you were flicking through it like, yo, who can I call? I need, you know, and they would set up special numbers. So if you look at Bob's Plumbing on a Yellow Page ad, it will have a different number than he would normally have, so they can track who's calling you through Yellow Pages. And then they would sit back and track it and record the calls, and you would know what sales came from Yellow Pages. And people would have just a ton of business from Yellow Pages. Being in front of hungry customers is the easiest way to sell and be successful. A lot of y'all trying to creep in through the back door and beg and plead and convince and maybe catch somebody while they don't catch, you know, don't just knock on somebody's door with a pizza and be like, I hope somebody in there hungry. I hope somebody in there got $1 or $5 for this pizza right now while it's still hot. Don't do that. Put you a pizza place on the corner, and everybody that ride past that's hungry will stop. So you got to get out of the mindset that you can go and reach people that just happen to need you. It doesn't work like that. Now, there is a reason at which you want to market that way, to keep, that way you'll stay in people's mind. So when they, like Coca-Cola is a great example, right? Coca-Cola show you commercials of just, you may not be thirsty, but I guarantee you when you do go to the store and you are thirsty, you're going to be like, I've seen this before. Let me go with this. Or if you were thirsty, it'll make you say, I got to taste Coca-Cola. Sometimes you sit there and you got to taste for stuff, and you don't know that you've seen 50 advertisements of it in the past week, and now you think about it. Or if you go to a store and they're like, we got Coke, you're like, oh yeah, I bet. So that's the point of that type of marketing. You do not want to spend a ton of money just reminding people that you're there. You will not get the return on investment. That needs to be your secondary level of marketing and not your primary level of marketing, especially if you're new and you only got $100 to throw around. You don't want to throw $100 around on the secondary. It doesn't make sense. You feel me? So it's something to think about. All right. Rashad said, how do you decide to create a role in business and how to decide on what people make for each project? We have a photographer and a production director and myself as a marketing person. Okay. A person should make a flat fee. It shouldn't be different per project, right? If you establish what they make and then you establish what the cost is in the company or the price of the stuff in the company, it should be a no-brainer. I'll give you an example. If my editor makes $1 per hour or per edited video, just hypothetically, and my videographer make $1 per edited video, I know that if I go to a client and I charge them $5 per edited video, I know what my profit is all the time. It's just nothing to talk about. So I know if they want 3 minutes worth of video and I'm charging them $15, I know my cost is going to be $6. You know what I'm saying? So I know what I'm making every single time. When your prices fluctuate and you're trying to eyeball it, that's when you come into problems. But you got to know, listen, when you go to work every day, they're not negotiating prices with you every day. You got a set hourly rate, and that's that. They don't care what they slap on your desk. You can be working on the next iPhone. You can be pumping gas. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You are at a set, stuck rate for as long as they deem it fit. And they will just give you a raise just to shut you up, and it'll be so incremental, it's not even funny. It'll be 25 cents. And meanwhile, their price is going up 25% a year. They're giving you a 25-cent raise. So it's just business. Most companies make 10 times off you what they pay you. That's just how stuff is. That's just how stuff roll. Let's see. Flying Ryan, what's the word, bro? What's a good tiny camera for professional work? Need something tiny to mount. Do I like the RX? Yeah, the RX011 or RX, is it RX11? Is that the Sony? I like it. I like GoPros, man. If Canon drops 8K, then DJI should too. I wouldn't be surprised if DJI, listen, we haven't seen a new Phantom in like 3 years. They have no competition. They have no competition. When is Flash Film Bordura coming? I wish, Charles. I mean, Chris, I wish it was coming. Google is the new Yellow Pages. That's why Yellow Pages don't exist no more. That's why people aren't calling for information. Google is the new Yellow Pages. Ty, what's the best way to tell your story? Chris, I got a whole course on that, which is the course on the the 5 key steps for creating an effective portfolio. Let me get that on here. Hold up. I had somebody send me a long letter saying that you should offer crazy discounts because we stuck at home bored on courses. I was tempted. But for now, let's see. Let me go ahead and do this while we live. Because as soon as I get off live, people are like, yo, I'm like, hey, you got to wait for me to go live again. So let me do this. All right. Let's do this. Somebody says I'm buying a Sony a6400 as my starter camera. Am I making a mistake? No, AJ. Sony a6400 is a wonderful camera. It is a really good camera. I had an a6500. It's a really good camera. I'm trying to, let me get to your questions, Ty. What's the best way? Oh, yeah. Okay, I already answered Chris. ISF Productions say, what's up, Ty? I'm ready to eat tonight. Love the knowledge pimping. Hey, man, I'm just trying to keep it real. GoPro Hero 8. GoPro, listen, when resolution kind of backfires on cameras with little sensors, man. It's rough. I'm sure GoPro could have dropped the 8K camera a long time ago. It just, for the average, like, I personally think if I was the head of GoPro, I would have a professional lineup of GoPro cameras. Maybe one or two, 1 inch, 2 inch, maybe 3-inch sensor GoPro cameras that are just rugged little pieces of junk that's designed to take a beating and go 100 feet underwater, right? Those would be 8K. The consumer cameras, I wouldn't make them 8K because people, you know, they're complaining about battery life. They're complaining about SD cards. Like, you don't really need 8K. If you're, you know what I'm saying? You want footage of yourself surfing. Like, you don't really need 8K. You want 8K, but you don't really need it. So they would get a upscaled 6K or something, or upscaled 4K, because they wouldn't know the difference. Let's see. All my potential niches were shut down statewide due to coronavirus. Wait, I lost it. Okay. Due to the corona restrictions. I was ready to start building my portfolio. Any idea in the interim? Yeah. Do you have your copy for your website? Do your website explain everything about your niches? Do you write some storyboards on ideas you have to go and shoot? If your niche is working with a dental field, write down some shoot ideas. In the course, it talks a little bit about just what you need as far as behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. Like, I would be planning that out. And I would be staying in contact. See, right now is the time where the secondary advertisement is not a bad idea because you're staying in people's mind. If you don't have a lot of budget, I wouldn't do it. If you got some budget, then yeah, it's never wrong to do that. Especially depending on how you do it, especially you do it through social media because people are home and they're bored. They're looking at their devices. So I would definitely do it that route. I will get that copyright on point. We're getting ready to launch 2 more. If you have the contract pack, if you got the 23 part contract pack, we're getting ready to launch 2 more contracts that is free if you have that pack. One is subscription based, how to bill and make clients agree to a subscription, right? So when I say agree to a subscription, the way the contract I'm presenting comes out says, hey, you agree to let us do blank amount of videos per month at a discounted rate of blank, right? If for whatever reason you break that contract, you are going to be charged a early termination fee of blank, or you're going to be charged the full rate backdating to the first video. That way you prevent people from saying, oh, I'm gonna hook me up and I got you next time. Nope. How about I give you 6 months to buy 2 videos? We give you the discount on both videos, but if you don't get the second video, you still owe me money. Just something to think about. Got a super chat. Hold up, super chat. I'm gonna say your name wrong. Is it Dominique? It's Dominiquez. I'm probably butchering it, but I still love you anyway. Good looking out on the super chat. It said, bro, you're like a pastor. Keep preaching gold content as always. Much love for Lithuania. I'm trying to get out to Lithuania, man. I'm gonna look for you when I get out there. I'm trying to come out there, see what it's like. I'm trying to travel everywhere. I feel like I got friends all over the world now. Y'all think I'm joking? I'm gonna pop up in your country like, hey, I'm here. Let's go shoot. Like, bring your camera and let's go shoot. So forgive me if I'm a little behind on questions. I'm just trying to get to more questions. On filming for free, I want to specialize in custom first-person video drones like Flying Ryan. Flying Ryan, you're a star out here. The biggest theme park in Australia just shut its doors due to the virus. My plan is to approach them and suggest. Okay, theme parks or big companies like that, especially theme parks when it comes to drone, are really hard. And it depends on, I know here in America, it's difficult to shoot drones over a crowd of people. So make sure your insurance game is on point if you approach them. Make sure your insurance game is right, because that's a big concern for them. But it can be done if it's a theme park that has multiple theme parks. Like here we got Six Flags. It's a bunch of them. You want to make sure that you go to the head honcho. You don't want to go to somebody that just worked there, because you can get in a whole lot of trouble. I want Rex and Max say, I want to do interviews, promos, and lecture style videos with clients that are empowering people in their lives in areas like financial freedom, life principles, and health. Is that too broad? That is way too broad. That's way too broad. Listen, start with just doing promo videos. I guarantee you, during those promo videos, you're going to get testimonials. Start with just doing promo videos. The thing with people who are pushing freedom and lifestyle, it's rarely a company. Like, there aren't a lot of companies that push freedom and lifestyle. There are a lot of people or smaller brands. There aren't a lot of companies, right? And people in smaller brands typically don't have big budgets. They typically don't have big budgets. I'm just going to be honest with you. What you should do, if I was you, how I would tweak it, is go get with a hotel, right? Because they get a lot of people that come in and rent their hotel rooms like every day. Every day somebody's coming to speak and have a seminar in a hotel room, and focus on offering promo videos to whoever's there. And then use that to network and keep making money. Memphis boys in Texas, man. Keep an analogy that put things in perspective. Another before I go, wait, comment. Oh, he's just a compliment. Okay, no problem. On filming for free, I want to specialize in, I already touched that. I'm going back. All right, let me go forward. Ty, how is Brazil? I'm not in Brazil, but I would love to go to Brazil. Where can I find a copywriter? Fiverr, you can find a copywriter. Upwork, you can find a copywriter. The thing is this. You have to make sure that it helps if your language is their first language. If they're located in your country. It's a little more expensive, but it's worth it. Ali says, you mentioned your father sadly passed away. How did you deal with the tragedy in business? My business took a dive for about a year when my father passed. It took a major dive. I was close with my father, and I'm not gonna say I was loaded, but I was comfortable and I had the ability to kind of walk away from things a little bit. And it took almost a year to get back where I was. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It was a lot. Losing a parent is not like losing nothing else. Only thing I can think of is worse than losing a parent is maybe losing a kid, but it was a gut punch, bro. It was a gut punch in life, though. I don't think it was even a business thing. I think it was just a life thing. I kind of stepped away from everything. So it was rough. Why am I streaming at? Hold up. Okay, we good. Any plans? Ty, do you recommend LegalZoom for incorporating? Chris, LegalZoom is cool, but they're big now. They're big time, right? They got a lot. Everybody know them, so they're a little expensive. You can probably find somebody cheaper. In your state, depending on what state you're in or country you're in, the price for LLC, it is what it is, right? The companies add an extra fee for doing the paperwork for you, right? But the paperwork is pretty much easy. They're not, LegalZoom ain't even touching that paperwork, bro. You typing it in yourself, they're printing it and submitting it. They're printing it, looking over it, submitting it. There's other companies that do it a whole lot cheaper than LegalZoom. Plan is to use this time as they're closed. Okay, wait. I'm a freelance video editor. Is Facebook and Instagram a good way to find customers? Nope. FTB, I just talked about it a little earlier. It's not a good way to find customers unless you have a direct niche, and you can see, even if you got a niche, your niche is doing lawyer videos or videos for lawyers, or they're doing I can't think of the name of them, but I know video companies that go out and record testimonials to be used in court. I can't think of the name of them, but they get a lot of contracts with like car insurance companies and lawyers. But it's a good way to remind people. But nobody get on Facebook to look for your service. When people log on to Facebook, they can give a damn about what you're trying to sell them. I can't remember half the stuff that come up on the side unless it's something that I talked about and I think is really weird that all of a sudden I'm seeing advertisements for it. Don't nobody give a damn about who you are on Facebook. But when they get on Google, they looking for you, period. To even get to you, they got to search for something you do. Google is a blank page, and whatever I'm looking for is what I find. So Facebook is okay, but it's not all it's cracked up to be. When it comes to finding business, you got to build it and get it in front of people that's hungry, right? You don't want to knock on random people's doors with a pizza and be like, yo, I got this pizza. Somebody in there hungry. They'll look at you like you crazy. But if you get in the middle of a mall where people are hungry and they can smell that pizza, and then you got it on display so they can see it, they'll buy it like crazy. That's what you need to do. You need to put your business in a busy place. And that's why real estate is so important for businesses. That's why they do so much research on, what corner should I put this Walgreens or this pharmacy? Should I put it on this side of the street or that side of the street? That's why when you go past gas stations, you ever go to a place where gas stations and it'll be two on two different sides and they'll have two different gas prices because they know that more people come on this side of the street so they can make their gas prices a little more. Or the other one, to make people, come across the street, they may lower it a little bit just so people can be like, okay, let me make this left-hand turn and go on this side of the street. It's just a business tactic. So you need to make sure you build it so they can come. What about Facebook groups? Do I think people go on there to solve problems? Nope. I think they go on there to talk. Now, if you're in a Facebook group, and then you can't even spam a Facebook group like that. Like, you can't even go ham on a Facebook group. You can go in there and make suggestions, but even in our Facebook group, I don't hammer you with courses all day. I give you a platform to talk and make sure that we can communicate, but I'm not going to go in there and hammer you with courses all day. Like, you didn't come here for that. You came here to talk. You came here to communicate. It's just not a great place to... You know what I'm saying? Think about it. How hard is it to create a group of people who are interested in video production all day, every day? Like, either you love it and want to do it, but you're not going to create a place where businesses are going to come to talk about video production. Usually when they need it, they need it. When they need it, they need it. And they're not going to... You don't join groups about plumbing because you had a pipe burst 6 years ago. You just don't. Like, you don't care about it. Video production for businesses is something that they don't want to think about. They just want to get it when they need it. Hey, man, I should do a video on this. It's like hot on their mind. And if you don't catch them while it's hot, they'll put it on the back burner, because a lot of companies and businesses, some of them, not a lot, don't understand the value and the immediate impact of having great content. So they're not going to talk about it enough to join a group and be all infatuated with the idea of creating a commercial. It's usually like, I need one. Who can I call? Boom. I guarantee you. My business name has photography on the end, but I want to add video. Should I change the last to film, media, studios, etc., or leave the photography and just add the service? Change the name. Change the name. I mean, if Dunkin' Donuts, you go there for donuts, man. It's great that they have other things, but when you think Dunkin' Donuts, you go there for donuts. They even cut donuts off their name. They're just Dunkin' now. I don't know if you've noticed that. Dunkin' Donuts is no longer Dunkin' Donuts. They're just Dunkin'. Because they sell more than, they're not making money off donuts like that. You go in Dunkin' Donuts 10 years ago, they have 50 different types of donuts. Now they got like glaze and like 10 other ones. Tough luck. Like, go buy a croissant, buy a smoothie, but we're not going to just be known for donuts. So if you hear I am in the office part and there's like it's starting to rain, so my man, Matrix Photo Design, you never fail me, bro. I really appreciate you. Good looking out with the super chat. How many images should you have on your website? It depends on your niche, right? Don't overwhelm them, right? 12 to 20 is enough. You need to have 2 to 4 to support every type of photography you do. More is not better. You will overwhelm clients looking through too many images. It's just how it happens. You say you have a Facebook group called Cincinnati Professional Photographers. I've done 1 to 2 business podcasts with Business Guru. Would you like to be the next guest? Yeah. Hey, like I told you, if you got a podcast, I'm down. Anybody got a podcast that talks business? Let's go. In regards to the last questions, is media acceptable for photo, video, and cinematography? Yep. Think about, so my company is Flash Film Media. Flash talks about photography, film talks about video or film side, and media covers everything. So it's everything. That's why I went with the name, because I know I do everything. And even back then, I didn't know about how important it was to create a niche, but thank God I had a name that still supports it. I also have Flash Film Weddings, Flash Film Photo Booths. So it's still, even though I went, I could have used Flash Film Media to do weddings, but I didn't want to do that. I learned about how important it was to make sure that you aimed at your target audience. So real quickly, because this is the follow-up video to the video about the 6 things you must do when starting a business, I want to talk about the 6 steps real quick before we get into more questions. Right? The first one was, the first step was, of course, getting a better understanding of what you enjoy doing. It is so important. It is so important that you learn about what you love to do. It is so important that your niche is based off what you can't stop talking about. You have to have passion. You have to have passion. You cannot do this without passion. You will not survive. It's too much of a grind. That's one thing people say, I don't know what my niche is, what you love to do. When you pick up your camera and you walk outside, what are you looking to shoot? The number 2 step was to find people who are great in your industry. Find out who's selling. Find out what companies get an example of a great image, a great video. That's dope. And try to get your skill set there. Because a lot of people aren't, and this is something I got to be real with you. Listen, I got to be really, really real with you, right? A lot of people aren't honest with themselves on their ability to create great content, right? I see a lot of people submit stuff, and I'm pushed to make them ask themselves, what makes this picture great? What makes this video great? Other than, you know what I'm saying, you took it, or you think it's dope, or because your mama gonna tell you everything dope. Your mama gonna tell you everything you do is dope. Your family gonna tell you that. But you gotta go in front of people who spend money, and then I don't care what you say, I care about, You know what I'm saying? People buy what they're interested in. They dedicate. If a girl like you, her schedule gonna open up. She's gonna be available. If a girl don't really like you, she ain't gonna tell you. She's just gonna be a little busier. But if a girl really like you, that schedule opening up. Same thing for a guy. When it comes to dating, when you're dating a girl, if you can tell if somebody like you depending on, unless they're really busy. But most time people, you'll see. You'll definitely see. So make sure that you go find great examples of work to compare your work to get better, right? I go look at really good YouTube channels to compare my work to their YouTube channels. Like, am I giving away enough value with the content that I create? So he said, my passion is to shoot and edit awesome video commercials. I'm good with a niche because of target marketing. Am I wrong? You need to be more specific, right? What type of videos and commercials? There's different type of marketing aspects. You got to do more research on the specifics of the type of marketing, right? There are marketing agencies that are excellent at comedic style commercials. There are some that are excellent on political. There are some agencies that do very serious, direct to the point, nonprofit style commercials. You need to be as specific as possible. Rashid, pricing should not be on your website, but packages should be. So Chris Lee says, being out in California, mostly all subject matter out here is models, celebrities. Are those things worth monetizing, or should I find a niche? Find a niche, because everybody's doing that. Plus, with that, you got to compete with stuff like TMZ. Find a niche. Definitely find a niche. Number 3 is invest in knowledge and gear needed to achieve that level of quality. Once you know what's good, then you can go out and make the investments to get there. Whether it be understanding color grading better, whether it be understanding how to edit better, whether it be the right gear, right? I'm gonna give you an example. If you want to do YouTube Live, it helps to have a camera with great audio. That's something I learned, but even though I have other cameras that do other things, you want a camera that you can plug a nice XLR cable into that provides great audio. You want to build your gear around what you do and not just get what's hot. If I'm shooting lifestyle videos or commercials with cars at night, the A7S Mark II is going to be a gold mine compared to, a 5D Mark IV, because one is just that much better in low light, and it helps for what you're doing. What would be my best advice to an immigrant trying to build photography, videography business while waiting on work permit? And want to pursue a niche other than, and what niche base other than weddings is a good income? Don't do it for the income. It ain't about the money. Okay, so if you are an immigrant and you're waiting on your work permit, listen, there are a lot of people in this country or whatever country you're in who were once in your shoes that are now business owners, right? You can walk into their business and touch them in ways that other people can't. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. They will give you a hand simply because of who you are and what you're going through. Like, hey, I'm going through this, I'm trying to do that. They like, hey, brother, I've been there before. It took me this long to get the paperwork and get the permit, yada, yada, yada. Hey, I'm going to support your business. So that's what I would do. I would walk into those people. I mean, people buy from people that they're familiar with. It's just natural. You buy from people you're familiar with. So go and find in your community just where the business owners are who look like you, and walk in and say, hey, this is my story. How can I tell your story? But you still got to be good at what you do, because they're not going to support you just because you're you. Still got to be good at what you do. Don't chase the money, people. When it comes to a niche, do not chase the money. You're going to burn out. You're going to burn out. You're going to wake up one day and have to do a whole reset everything. You're going to get to a point in life where being happy is more important than making money. And you'll realize that you could have been happy and made money at the same time had you really chased what you love to do. Do not go after that dollar. Let's see. Austin Brooks said, took your advice and I made a Squarespace page. Took a few hours and everything looks great. Squarespace is the truth. Like, Squarespace is eliminating $5,000 and $10,000 web designers. Like, if you're not creating an app or a website that does something very like unique, like a Fiverr or something, like, your days are numbered. Definitely. Offer packages on your website. Don't put prices. If they want to add, when they contact you for a quote, then you can have an a la carte breakdown of pricing. How to get time to learn everything within media while still doing photos. I mean, color grading alone is a huge science to learn. Can you tell how you plan to learn skills versus work? I'm gonna tell you, shooting for free. It allowed me to take a risk that I wouldn't take on something that is a paid gig. That's how I push the envelope. Christopher Blinn says, should I develop a portfolio before I market myself as a portrait photography? Also, should I start off lower than my competitors? Okay. You should definitely have a portfolio. Like, what are you marketing without a portfolio? Me? Hey, man, I got a camera. Bro, I got a camera. I'm going to shoot your shot. People ain't going to believe you. Listen, we're in a creative field, right? Everything is subjective and creative, right? People need assurance that you can do what you say you can do. And you need to show them that you can consistently create quality. People are scared to give you money. It's not like a car where you can show 10 other ones off the assembly line. You're literally a guy showing up at somebody's door like, I'm going to build you a luxury car. Give me $100,000. And you're like, what? You have to be able to show what you can do. You have to be able to market yourself before someone will allow you to market them. Companies hire you to tell their story. But if you haven't told your story good, it's less chance of you getting hired. You shouldn't even, once you buying a camera, a lot of people think because they buy the camera, they're ready to hit market. You shouldn't even be thinking about making money with that camera until you've thought about how to build your brand. You can't convince people. Just have cameras and they're like, nobody want to buy with me, or they lowballing me because you have no proof. You have no social proof as to what you can do. You have to build your brand first. Anybody who think they can just get out here and be like, I'm a guy, I got a camera, pay me to do your headshots, you smoking. This is what we do back in the day. You smoking. Because you wouldn't hire a guy to pull it up at your house and he was like, yo, I'm going to cook you the best barbecue ever. And you're like, well, where's your grill? He showed up in a car and he like, yo, you want some barbecue? I'm going to cook you the best barbecue ever. $500. You like, what? I don't even see a grill, bro. What are you going to cook? I don't smell no smoke, nothing. I don't even know what type of barbecue you about to cook me. I give you $2 just to see if you going to magically pull some barbecue out your back pocket. That's what happens when you get lowballed, literally. You don't have enough proof. That's why you go into car dealerships, they got cars everywhere. And they never had the cheap cars on the showroom floor. They always had the best. They never had the cheap cars, right? Because they're showing proof of what they do so that you can spend money with them. A lot of y'all are jumping in the deep end with no arms. You can't even get helped. Like, people can't even help you if you got no arms in the deep end. Let's see. Imagine lantern for Canon. Should you put it on older ones? If it's stable enough. You do not want to be somewhere. If you got 2 cameras, yeah. What's the best method for figuring out appropriate pricing for your niche? Work for people for free and see what they've been paying. Talk to them. Asking questions about, do they feel like, is this worth this amount? Would you pay this? Listen, when you work for people for free, you got to pick their brain. Don't just shoot for free. Tell them, hey, this would have cost you $3,422. Do you think this is worth it? They'll tell you, nah, I wouldn't have paid for it. It could be that price is too much. It could be that your work quality ain't there. They'll tell you. When you work for free, you need to be picking their brain for more than just free shots. You need to be getting more out of the deal than that. Way more out of the deal. A lot of people do WordPress websites. I'm not crazy about them. I've had bad experience. I don't want to have nothing that's open source. I don't want my business to rely on anything that uses open source coding. Not me. Can't do it. That's just me. I've been hacked before. People click on my website. It was taking them to adult videos. When they click on my portfolio, it'll look normal. They click on my picture. It was boom. Weird stuff everywhere. And with Squarespace, you can go update your website. You ain't got to go through re-uploading a ton of files and all this crap whenever a new update come out for WordPress, or you ain't got to worry about that. I don't want to have to worry about security. I got other stuff to focus on. I got other stuff to be worried about. I don't need to worry about is my site up right now. I don't need to worry about it. Have I ever dealt with some other videographer stealing one of my shots, using it in their portfolio, and they get work because of it? I've had people steal stuff before, yeah, of course. Whether they got work from it, I don't know. You got to get a cease and desist. That's easy. You don't, the way you can't protect yourself from it. We can watermark everything, but you can't protect yourself from it. There's nothing you can do with content like that. If that was the case, bootleg movies wouldn't be out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're getting stuff out of the movie theaters and it's on a Fire Stick somewhere and they got $1 billion to protect themselves. You don't have a shot. This is why people gotta, Austin said, this is why people gotta humble themselves to do free work for the type of people they want to work with. You gotta, listen, it is about paying dues, but you have the opportunity to, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Let me break it down in layman's term, right? If there's a type of girl you like, right? Or guy or whatever, right? And let's say they're different from you. Let's say they're a different culture. They're a different race or whatever. They're not what you are, right? If you hang out with people like her, if you go to other, let's say if I'm gonna use this just, let's say for the sake of whatever, we talking here, I am attracted to Asian women, right? I want an Asian girlfriend. And I'm just gonna break it down to the nitty gritty, right? It's way more difficult for me to just walk up to her and be like, hey, how you doing? It's way more difficult. It'll be a whole lot easier if I had Asian friends and I learned more about the culture. And I talked to my Asian friends and I was good friends with Asian, you know what I'm saying? I had some good Asian friends and they can say, hey, bro, if you like her, you should approach her like this. Because you don't know. You going up to her, hey, baby, let me holler at you. And she's like, oh my God, what is wrong with this guy? But you may learn from your friends to say, hey, just go speak to her and say your name. Invite her out to whatever. And you like, wow, I never thought about that. So shooting for free gives you that insight on working with your ideal client. It should be more than just a picture exchange. It's your opportunity to pick their brain. You're shooting something for them that is so valuable that they're going to give you access to their brain, which is more important or just as important as the images that you are capturing. So you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody said, I just described me and my girlfriend from Vietnam. You have to, you gotta be around what you want. You know that if you hang around 4 millionaires, you're going to be the 5th millionaire. If you hang around 4 crackheads, you're going to be the 5th crackhead. So you got to get a good understanding on who you're looking for. Like, you got to go talk to them. Matrix says, should you put your logo watermark on your website? On images, yes. Just don't do the big whole, like wedding photographers and videographers, they put that big old, I don't do that. I feel like it's tacky. I feel like it is what it is. Good look out on the super chat as well, Matrix. You always represent. You are much appreciated, brother. I can't tell you enough. Good looking out. So you definitely want to watermark your images. You definitely want to do that in the bottom right-hand corner or something like that. I don't put a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? I just don't do it. I feel like it's tacky. I'm gonna say this name wrong. Asif Durso. I'm pronouncing it wrong. He was the gentleman that had the question about being an immigrant. Hey man, I really appreciate you watching the channel, brother. I keep up the good work. You gonna be successful. Keep up the good work. Gary, I want to answer your question about what I suggest, but I forgot the first part of that. Tina says she make a mean homemade chili. I can't see the first part of that. When I get a good body of work together for a portfolio, should I start off lower than my competition? Nope. Nope. Because if your body of work is just as good as theirs, why are you cheaper? Maybe they can show value more than you, but there's no reason you should be cheaper. Are BMWs cheaper than Mercedes? Nope. They're not. So if your body of work is on that level, don't cheapen yourself. You should never be competing with price. Price should not be a factor on showing value. It shouldn't be. Price is the last result. Price is your pistol, right? You try to do everything you can to lower, to bring down the situation, before you have to pull your pistol, right? You do everything you can. You may use a different voice. You may use different body language. You may position yourself different. You do everything you can before you have to draw your weapon. Because once you draw your weapon, it ain't no coming back from that. Once you pull that gun, you got to use it. You do not want to pull that weapon. You want to do everything you can. Listen, I don't trust people that run up and pull their weapon out quick. Yo, you crazy. You don't want nobody on your team that run up. I mean, even like military, you try to de-escalate a situation, we want to talk about it. We don't want to go and pull our weapon real quick. We want to have talkers and thinkers. We don't want to be bang, bang guy because there's no value in that. You're going to mess around and get us all shot. So let's talk to these people because we don't know what they're doing. Let's have a conversation with them because you go out guns blazing, you just asking for it. And you can't recover from that. So think about that. Your price is your weapon. You do not want to pull it out unless you got to. And once you pull your weapon out, you're going to be my mans that pull the pit. They're going to be looking at you real funny no matter where you go, and you can't recover from it. They don't want the smoke. 90% of my clients give me permission to post and share. Do you think I should go back and try to give them agreement to sign for online portfolio or just wait for future sessions? You can wait for future sessions. If you shot it, what they going to do? If you shot it, if you didn't sign an agreement saying that they fully own it, it goes both ways. They don't fully own it. So you can use it. Ty, I'm starting a fitness niche, Eric says, and I'm planning on marketing to gyms, cycling studios, Pilates studios. Do you think that's too broad? I need to know more information on what you plan on doing in the fitness niche. Are you looking for just workout videos, gym videos? And you got to think about this, all right? So this is the thing about gyms, and I got some friends that are in the industry. These are some things you got to think about, right? Gyms are either owned by one or two people. Big companies, they got a bunch of gyms that let you franchise them, and they're going to be stiff. It's going to be hard to walk in there and shoot a video for them because they got franchise rules and regulations, or struggling gyms. Like, it's really no in between. Like either you're a Planet Fitness or whatever, they got the $10 a month super mega fitness lifetimes, or you a guy that owns a gym and he's trying to find new ways to make money in that gym. So it's difficult for him to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on videos. The personal trainer is not going to have it to spend. So you got to find your happy medium within there. So you got to find a niche that go after gyms that make a lot of money or that's doing well. And we're in a situation where gyms are popping up. Like gyms, to me, a gym is one of those things that's fading away. It's fading away. People aren't leaving their house to work out. Like people who love gyms do, but you got all of these mirrors and what's the name of the bike that you can ride at home? And you got a lot of products that are pulling people back home. Back in the day, it used to be the Thigh Master. If you old enough to remember the Thigh Master, go ahead and pop an emoji down there if you remember the Thigh Master. But so it's just a little difficult. So you got to find a niche. A good niche is whatever you love. Listen, I don't got nothing against Magic Lantern, guys. I think Magic Lantern is dope. You just better make sure it's solid before you get on the job and that bad boy, you popping batteries out and then, you know. What are some options to get past the recording limit on my camera? I want to shoot interviews, but it's annoying to start and stop. There are a few options depending on what type of camera you got. I'm 17. My mom had a Thigh Master. Your mom is probably cute. I don't know. I'm just talking junk. So the 30-minute recording don't really bother me because I'm not letting people in interviews blab for 30 minutes. That's just me. I'm like, all right, shut up. Like, I got to edit this, bro. Hey, listen, next time you shoot an interview, and you're interviewing somebody, be like, hey, in 60 seconds or less, tell me blank question, go. And sit there with a timer. Don't let people blab for 30 minutes. I've never had a problem with the 30-minute record limit. Some people have. For Sony, there is a hack out there. If you look into it, there's some stuff you can add to your camera. For other cameras, you can either get an external recorder, or Canon, you can do Magic Lantern. I don't see a 30-minute recording. I'm not letting nobody blab for 30 minutes for interviews. Now, if I'm doing a conference, that's different. But if I have multi-cameras and I do start and stop, I kind of stagger when they start, then that's different. So I talked about the second level of marketing earlier. What's the first? So the first level is being where people look. The second level is reminding people that you still exist, right? So the first level for Coca-Cola is when you walk into the store, when you go to the convenience store, there's probably a Coke sign out front. There's probably a Coke sticker, a Coke light. They're probably, as soon as you walk in, there's probably a bucket of Coca-Colas. When you get to a whole section, they probably got a whole freezer that's branded Coca-Cola. Because when you walk in the store and you're thirsty, they want to Coke you to death. Coke, 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 get a Coke, get a Coke, get a... Boom. The second level is commercials. When you're minding your business and they're like, oh, Coca-Cola. You're like, oh, snap, I think I'm thirsty. Or it's in their mind. It reminds them so that when they walk in the store and they see Coke, they're like, oh, I know this. Yeah, let's go. That's the second level. So you, as providing a service, if you're big enough, you got a couple $100,000, it's okay to have a commercial. It's okay to have ways to remind people that you exist so that when you're in front of them, they'll know who you are. In social media, we call it retargeting a little bit. People who've been to your site, they look for you, they leave, and now you keep reminding them that you still exist. Retargeting is big in social media. Jacob Bradford. Hey, man, first of all, I want to thank you for the super chat. Also, before I go into his question, don't forget, if you guys are members, if you want to be a member, hit the join now button. You'll get access to exclusive Q&As and content that's not going to be put on the regular site. You get some membership content by hitting the join now button. Anybody that joined will get announced in the chat. All right. Jacob say, hey, I felt overwhelmed with the pre-production side of corporate video. Can you talk about writing process and making commercials that convert? Jacob, you know why you feel overwhelmed? I'm going to tell you. Because you have not developed a system and process to use with every single customer. It should not be different with every single customer. When you go to McDonald's, they're not figuring out how to make that cheeseburger or how to make your cheeseburger. They have a system and process. They have a set of questions that result in what they need to pull and put into a script. If you have problems with that or don't feel like doing it, outsource it. I outsource it all the time. I don't want to spend my day writing your script. I'd rather pay a price that I'm going to push into the overall price so I can go and hang with my kids or go hang with my boys or go play basketball that day. If it's overwhelming, outsource it. Add that price into the price and still make that money. If you're looking for places to write script, you got Upsource, you got Fiverr. That's what I would do. I would keep the way you go about receiving that information consistent. Keep the pricing consistent. If you outsource it, you know what they're going to charge you for a 2-minute, a 3-minute, a 4-minute. You make your money off of it. You should never be passing along. If they charge you $100 to write a script, you should never be charging your client $100. No way possible. You need to be charging them like $5 or whatever. You should be eating off that. You should be making money while you sleep. So you have to get the process down so it's the same with everybody. The idea of pre-production should not be overwhelming. if you have a system in place. I know for sure that if we write your script, I know what questions we're going to send out. I know how long it's going to take. Then we're going to storyboard it if needed. It's easy for me to do that with every customer. I don't care what you do, what type of business it is. If you're paying me to write your script and storyboard it, I have a system in place. And it's a one-click system. I send it, you fill it out, I submit it to my writers. By then I've taken the deposit so I can pay my writers, and I'm just waiting for it to come back, and I look over it and see if I like it, shoot it over to the client, let them make their tweaks. I make it to the client think they're working with me, or they talk to me, and I submit it over to my writers. And I just to look at it, and that's all I'm doing. I'm somewhere playing basketball, and I see it come up on my cell phone, and I'm like, yeah, approve, send that, and I'm going back to missing shots. So if you have to sit down and come up with a system so that you're not recreating the wheel every single time. Let's see. I'm shooting real estate with a Canon SL2 for someone. Is it worth upgrading camera to target higher paying clients when I branch out on my own? Nope. Camera don't matter. Somebody said, I knew you were going to say Asian girls. Guys just like Asian girls, man. Am I the only one who think watermarks are unnecessary and corny? I mean, if you got original files, you got metadata. That is correct. I don't like big, gaudy watermarks. I'm to the point, as it used to be a time where I was okay wearing a big old like Tommy Hilfiger. Like I wanted the designer to be everywhere. Now I'm like, I don't want none of that crap on me, bro. Give me a little tag in here that I don't want to be a walking billboard. I don't want my images to be a walking billboard either in a bad way. Watermarks don't bring you business. They just don't. So I put it in the corner if that, but I'll just send you a cease and desist. I'm a baby boomer struggling with getting a website. Should I have my kids do it? Try it myself or something like Squarespace? You should go to Fiverr. See, the thing is this. You should go to Squarespace, have somebody on Fiverr design that Squarespace. And there's elements to a website, right? It's not a one and done thing for nobody, right? Your website needs to have great copy, which means the wording needs to be right. You need to list your what you do. What are your services? That's why I say if you start with 3 or 1 or 2, life is a whole lot easier. And you can perfect those. So you go to Fiverr, have someone write a detailed description of what you do, each service you do. Hey, I do corporate event photography. Let me get a write-up of what this entails, right? And let's say all you do is corporate event photography. You get a write-up of what it entails and the process, right? Then you go get a Squarespace page and you pay someone to design that page using that information, that copy that you was given with images that you may have to support that. Make sure you got a strong call to action. Then you have your portfolio up top to do all of your work. And that's it. Websites don't need to be 12-page Wikipedia pages. It can be a 1-page thing with a strong call to action. That's what I would focus on. Super chat. I had a super chat pop up here and it ain't popping up. How do you start doing video from zero? By shooting for free? Be looking out, Matrix. Building your portfolio. You build you go shoot for free and build that portfolio. Why is that not coming up on here? Okay. You go build that portfolio. And then you can market. If you just show up with a camera and you trying to market, you're not gonna make it. Bex says, I wish you all the best with the global virus. Hope you all are safe as well. Hey man, I hope everybody's safe. I hope you all home and y'all ain't hanging out. 135 of y'all definitely at the crib. Some of y'all on y'all phone. If you're on your phone and you're out, post the emoji of a phone. If you're at home, just post the emoji of home. Am I using Live View? Nope, I'm using Sling Studio. Should I never put my pricing on my website? Nope, you don't want to compete with price. Price is not, when you hungry and you got enough money in your pocket and you see something you want, you don't care what the price is. You're going to buy it if it's what you want. Yeah, listen, you create content, people. Content can keep making you money while you sleep. You need to be thinking about that. I got a video coming talking about getting in the game with the idea of getting out the game. Definitely. I'm going to try to scroll down because I'm behind. All my home people in the house. Uh-oh. I don't know with Rain River. He quarantined, so I guess that means he at the crib. Metadata is the new watermark. I agree with that. I don't have a relationship with Squarespace. I wish they would call me and just offer me something. Maybe I can offer you guys this. I don't have a relationship with them. However, I love Squarespace. Let's see. Let me just see some of these questions because they popping up. If you can see my screen right here, they popping up. Got me on the Bluetooth at work, Chris say. Okay, I feel you, Chris. Do what you got to do. What reasons do you see that a person should go DSLR over mirrorless? Nothing. I don't see a reason to go DSLR over mirrorless right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have an answer for you on that one. Cheaper cameras? Listen, mirrorless don't offer a huge benefit over DSLR other than size and kind of future proofing. You got a smaller flange distance. You can adapt more lenses. I mean, there's some benefits to it, but quality wise, image wise, there's nobody. If you get a 1DX right now, right, and you sit it next to a mirrorless camera and you take the best picture, you're not gonna be able to spot which is which. That's BS. Somebody telling you that is BS. Rain River is our newest gold member. All my gold members, post some gold for Rain. Welcome to the gold member club. If you want to be a member, hit the join now button below. Somebody say starting to live. Somebody said I'm starting to live by what you said. Education over entertainment. Yes. Educate yourself more than you entertain yourself. Watch your pockets grow. Watch your life grow. Watch your house grow. Do it for a year. Educate yourself more than you entertain yourself. Do it for a year and watch how your life change. You would be surprised at how your friends change, how your pockets change, how your business change. Simply by saying, hey, for every 1 hour of TV I watch, I'm going to watch 2 hours of tutorials or 2 hours of education. Instead of listening to music going to work, I'm going to listen to an audiobook or a podcast on business. You don't understand how much like drama and entertainment is just, I don't say poisoning, but altering your way of thinking, right? It's just like anybody in health will tell you when you start eating right, skin start clearing up, things start happening to your body. When you start putting that into your mind, just the way your mind works is different. And I'm black. I like rap. I like shake that booty, stop shooting, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But every day it was booty, shooting, you know what I'm saying? And after a while, you cut it off. And I started listening to different music. I started listening to more like, more like symphony style, like more orchestra style. Like my song is 1812 Overtree. You've heard it. It's just my junk. I just like the way it hit. So just try something different. Stretch your mind, stretch your brain, do something different. And go and feed that brain some education because it's hungry for it. Stop entertaining it. Stop pouring drama into it. I promise you. Is there any circumstance you would take a big Ursa version 1 over a Pocket 4K? Not at all. I was hoping that they continue to update the big Ursa because I wanted one. That big old screen, that mug is the truth. But it got that old 4K sensor that is trash. The one you can't even point at the sun without getting a black spot. It only got like ISO 400, ISO 600, and 800. There's no reason why you would get that. Those things are paperweights at this point. As far as pricing on website, you do not want to do that. You do not want to do that. What are my opinions on business that's offering Afterpay? I'm assuming this is like credit. Credit is cool. Like if you go through SquarePay, they offer credit to your clients. Your clients can make installments, and SquarePay just pay you. I'm not gonna be the creditor, bro. You're not gonna pay me 10 times. You can go I was gonna work it out where somebody can make a payment, they can work out some credit with somebody else and let them chase them, but give me my payment at once. When you go to a dealership, that dealership is not billing you. They like, hey, finance company, cut us the check for the whole amount. Y'all can make y'all money on the top and go after them. I'm not going to be a creditor. That's doing too much work. Asif, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I'm assuming so. But Asif, yeah, man, you know, portraits, you just got to have your own unique touch to portraits, man. You can do your thing. Get you some old vintage lens and, you know, chase your dream, bro. It's a lot of, being an immigrant is rough, bro. I couldn't imagine what it's like. But you have a lot of support from people who are just like you that would love to support you. They would love to help you out. And people who are not, you know, the people who are not, who don't look like you still would support you. They know how rough it is and tough it is to make it. So you have a unique perspective and use that perspective to your advantage. Are you listening to audiobooks during the downtime now? Heck yeah, you should be audibled up. You should be audible up right now. Let's see. I don't know what you're saying, June, but okay. What if you have a standard product, no pricing? Nope, I do some packages. Hey, we're offering $1,500 testimonials for 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. You should have pricing. You just shouldn't list it, right? You should know what it costs for a day rate. Day rate, quarter day rate, half day rate. You should have a price for that. 1 man, 2 man. You should have a price list. I'm just saying you shouldn't make that list public. Now, if somebody contact you for a quote, then you can share that with them. But you don't need a person to get all they need off your information, off your website, to go and shop you to somebody else or to be like, okay, I'm good. You want their information so you can continue to market to them. You want that lead. Don't give that lead everything they need and they can go to somebody else and somebody's like, I can beat that, and you don't have a chance to rebuttal or show why you're charging that. Don't do yourself like that. That you can't, you know, that's why even with car prices, they say starting at, you never get an exact price for a car unless you go look at one specifically. Like you need to go look at the one you want and customize it to what you want. It's hard to get a price on a car unless it's a used car maybe. So, you know, Joe Parnell say Funkadelics, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Frankie Beverly, bro, I love it. I can do that all day and night. All three of them is my truth. For real. But every now and then, I got to cut off Flashlight. I got to cut off September. I got to cut off, you know, all of that to learn a little bit. Them songs will be there when I get done. What is my dream camera? Right now, red helium maybe? I like the C500 Mark II? I think that, Alexas are cool, but my dream camera is something that I can operate by myself and I don't need a team of 20 to do it. So sort of the reds. Somebody says PayPal has 6 months. I like PayPal. I just don't like it for business like that. Because I can't, you can get a PayPal card reader. I just like Square. I've just had I use PayPal. I've had great experiences with Square. What's the process of doing T30, T60? Is it something that you fill out and send to companies or something they send you? So it's usually something they send you. They'll have, so for those who don't know, T30 and T60 is usually turnaround times. The bigger the company, if they have a payroll department, not a payroll department, but like a finance department or accounts payable department, you'll have to wait 30 days to receive a check. T60 is 60 days. T90, I've seen it all the way up to like T240, something crazy, right? And it's just business. It's just a way of life. You're not going to go to Walmart and they're not going to cut you a check tomorrow. They're going to cut you a check usually when the job is completed. Now, what sucks is sometimes there's no deposit. Sometimes you work at Walmart, it's no deposit. You're going to get a $15,000, $20,000 check. You got to pay out of pocket for labor. That check will come in the mail. That's just how business works. That's why you got to keep a little cash flow. They will notify you what their time is. And if you're cool with them, they'll try to push it quicker. If you make good relationships, they'll try to push it quicker. Some companies I've had still mail out deposits. So if it's a T30, hey, we're going to send you a deposit now. You'll get it hopefully soon. We can start working on a project. You'll get the rest. So With that is it's just a way of life when you deal with big companies. The first few times I went through it, it sucked because I had to learn it and I had to eat the labor costs and wait a month or two to get paid. But it's just how they do business. Do I have a what channel? A Discord channel for us? I don't understand that question. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. A7 III right now is one of my favorite cameras. It's just an all-around beast right now. Somebody said reds look too VHS-y. I don't know. I like reds. Business books. I have some in the description. I have 3 business books that are audibles in the description. Somebody says I like to use PayPal because they have debit cards. My Square got debit cards too. I like Square debit card because it looks dope. When is it appropriate time to present prices to customer? Terrence Jones asks. Usually, I like to get money out of the way, right? When they ask for a quote, I like to deliver a quote. I use a company called Proposalify, which links in the description. I like it because I can submit a quote to them. I can see when they're looking at it. I can see what they're looking at. And usually I like to jump on the phone and call them while they have it in front of them. And they can't BS me and be like, oh, I didn't see that. I know exactly what you're seeing. I see what page you're on right now, buddy. I don't say that, but I know it. So, yeah, I like to present it when it's time to present a quote. I'm answering a few more questions, and I'm going to get ready to wrap up. Listen, real quick, if you are a gold member, if you go to the community tab on the YouTube channel, there is instructions to submit your information. Submit your information so that we can go over it in the Q&A that's for gold members and silver members and members in general. Submit that information so we can go over, so we can pull up your demo reels and we can talk about what's right, what's wrong, what can be changed, and websites. Or just project videos. If you did a video on a project, you say, hey, how do you feel about it? What do you think? Do you think I did a good job at showing or marketing this company? How can I make changes? Please, please go ahead and submit that. So I also have the Facebook page if you want to go and talk as well. I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, but it's Dominiski. Dominiski. I know I'm butchering it. Please don't beat me up. I have a Facebook channel where people can go and post and talk a little bit. Do you think couples and beauty photography is too broad? Or do I need a niche for video highlights because I feel like I can do short films? Listen, companies pay more money than people, right? But companies hire from companies. People hire people. You got to be careful with that. If your area is full of a ton of people that want to do it, then yeah. It's an Israel name. I'm Ethiopian from Israel. Okay. Asif. I'll make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Hey, listen. I may not get it right. Please don't take it as me being disrespectful. Take it as me having Detroit public school education. And that's as good as it get. You know what I'm saying? What is the name of the website I use to send quotes? It's called Proposalify. There's a link in the description. If you look under favorite business services and apps below, you'll see Proposalify is the first link. My man Matrix. What's a good place to learn the process of video production A to Z? I have a GH4 and a 12mm. Oh man, that's a great question. I like lynda.com. Lynda has great courses on learning photography and videography, and it's fairly cheap. What they teach is kind of broad. But it's a very good foundation and a good place to start, right? So they can teach you how to shoot dope video, how to be consistent, and then you just come back to me when you're ready to make the bread. That's pretty much how it works. Dominic, so I can call you Dominic. Facebook is dead. It's all good. Facebook is popping, you know. The member section here is where we're going to do a lot more communication. A whole lot. Joe Purnell said DPS. Yeah, you know what's up. Can you make money from weddings and couple photography? You can. You got to be dope at it because it's a saturated. Listen, the more saturated the market, the doper you got to be. Or the better you got to be at marketing. Period. Recap. 6 most important steps for starting a business. I'll recap real quick because we have a video on it, but I'll recap. Number 1 is You got to have a great understanding of what you love. You got to figure out what you love. Nothing else matters. Don't talk about money. Don't try to monetize it. Love it. Love it. Love it. You're going to need that extra fuel in the tank to get your ass out of bed to do it. Love it. 2, find out what's great. Find a great example of this. So if you love wedding photography, go find a great wedding photographer. Don't study them, but study their product. Study their final result. Study their images. Study what makes them great. Number 3 is invest in the knowledge and the gear you need. You can't be a wedding photographer if you don't got a 70 to 200. I don't care what you say. It's hard to reach brides and grooms in the front with some old 50 to 300 at 5.6. It's not going to happen. Number 4 is, I think it's number 4, the next step is identify who in your area needs it. Who needs it? People getting married, people who are engaged needs wedding photographers. Look at your niche and look at who need it and why they need it. Next step is go to the top companies in your area or top prospects in your area. Offer your services for free in exchange to get information. Build your portfolio. And the last step is to create, and go and find out what are their pain points, what bothers them, why they need this stuff, right? And then create a website. The last step is to create a website that speaks to those needs, right? That speaks to those needs. People are hurting, right? Like right now, people are bored at home. And if my ideal client was the average person that's bored at home, I would create something to entertain them at home, right? If you know about Fandango, right? Let's talk about Fandango. Fandango is an app or a movie theater that sells tickets, right? Nobody's going to the movies right now. So you know what a lot of movie companies are doing? They're offering stuff that's at the movies. They're offering it available at home to stream for $20. They know you can't leave. They still want to make money off you. They still want to entertain you, and they found a way to do it to make money. Big shout out to Alexandria Walker. Good looking out on the super chat. Good looking out on the super chat. Thanks for continuing to put out the content, answering questions. Greatly appreciated. Hey, let me tell you something. I appreciate people like you. I appreciate those who support, those who care to hear this information. Without y'all, I am just a guy ranting on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I can talk about this all day. I'm just happy to have friends and people who care to hear about it. Because I can only talk so much. All right, I'm going to pronounce your name right this time. Is it Medina? Hold up. I keep wanting to say Mendez. But it's Medina's Multimedia. You got me last time because I butchered it. But I want to say thank you for your super chat. How to join Gold. If you want to join Gold, there's a join now button below, depending on what platform you're on. If not, you can go to our Flash Film Academy YouTube channel and hit the join button. It should be a join button for those that want to join the member side. The member side, we just gonna get a little more detailed and how we I see the name. I pronounced it wrong. I see the name. I just pronounced it wrong. But for those who want to join the membership, feel free to hit that join button, support the channel, and we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it going. We're going to get no join button. It could be if you're using an older version of YouTube, it may not be a join button. You may have to go to YouTube Flash Film Academy to hit the join button. I got emails coming in. You see all the members posting the emojis. That's what's up. Let me cut this down. Listen, I am in the process of coming up with a hard schedule to go live. That's why I'm popping up just to, that's weird. I'm popping up to see like what works, what's good and what's not. So make sure you guys, and it's really going to be based, the gold members, I can pay a little more attention to you because it's just a smaller group. Are there already extra live streams available for existing members? Not yet. I'm waiting to get a few more because I want to get more. For members, I want to talk about your work. I want to be able to look at your work and say, this is how I can help you. More than just general Q&As. So feel free. I'm not going to rip you. I'm not going to be like, this trash, bro. Why would you shoot it? I'm not going to come at you like that. However, I want to look at websites. I want to look at demo reels. I want to point out some things that a lot of people may be doing that you can tweak to be more successful. So it's going to be a little more in-depth as far as how can I help you? How can we look at what you're doing to tweak it? Let's put it in action. I can tell you a million ways to make money, but let's put it in action and say, hey, this is something that's little that I found that are turning clients off and you're losing business for it. So, Mississippi. Yeah. So the thing is, yeah, you get to chat with people. The content is unavailable for purchase. I don't know what part you're doing, but right now is a great time. If you're looking to build a portfolio, we got the portfolio course. You get the live discount. Got to keep in mind, if you just dragging clips to a timeline thinking it's a portfolio, I got bad news for you. It needs to be your commercial. If people aren't gonna hire you to tell their story if you can't tell your story. So, got to be your commercial. Wait a minute, we have a new. Okay, I'm gonna say this as best I can. Is it Raheem U? Raheem U Shoots is now a gold member. He's now a part of the gold status. I want to say welcome to the club. Lives are really weird because I have people that are all over the world, and what's convenient for you may be just Raheem. Okay, I said it right. Cool, Raheem U. What may be convenient for you may be 8:30 in the morning for somebody else. So I want to make sure that I can find a time or times that is suitable, and I can get as many people as possible, to watch it live, and then still have stuff go available for members. All right, guys, we can get ready to wrap it up because we've been on here an hour and 40 to 41 minutes. We are getting ready to if you're not in our Facebook Live group, make sure you join our Facebook Live group. We like to chop it up, and I get a lot of questions from there and a lot of ideas for videos. So I want to make sure that we're offering something dope for you guys. You can just say Raheem. All right, I'll just say Raheem. First lens you should get is definitely a 50 millimeter. Definitely a 50 millimeter. The membership doesn't work for Bahamas. That's crazy. I've never seen that, George. Let me look into that. A-lock. Am I saying that right? Is it a lock? Is it A-lock? Is it a lock? I wish there was a way where I can bring y'all on screen with video. That would be dope. I may have people submit video questions. That would be dope too. That would be dope. Best response I've heard about posting prices. You want to wheel them in, right? With prices, I'm gonna talk a little bit because I got a little time. You want to wheel people in. You want to get the lead. If you just giving away prices, you got to get something from people. A-loc, okay, that works. Like A plus oak, A-loc, okay, A-loc. Now I know. So, are my contracts in different languages, only English? As of now, they're in English only, but that's a really good idea. I'll look into that. That's I'm gonna look into that. Do an Instagram live and then have people come in. I usually do an Instagram live and then I bring people over to YouTube live. Usually what I do. All right, let me get ready to wrap up. Hey, for those who tuned in, man, I really appreciate y'all. Y'all are dope individuals. I be getting some good questions. Coming in. It's hard for me to get out. So I'm going to answer this one real quick. What percentage of your gear should be lighting? 40%. Lighting is everything. And I appreciate those, Raheem, who say they've grown a lot by watching the channel. I want to make sure that I help you grow. If you watching my channel and you don't leave any video I put out in a better position, like if I didn't help you grow a little bit, I haven't done my job. Gold membership, is that the only way to get website reviews? Yes, unless you do a one-on-one consultant. Yeah, gold membership is the only way. And we'll have some smaller gold member chats as that area grow. It's a handful of people. Also, we have contests. Whenever we reach 50 people, whoever's the 50th one, you'll get a free course or contract pack. 50, 100. We did the first one. We're going to do 50 and we're going to do 100. So keep an eye out on that because I will announce that person like I did the last one. Also keep up on the community tab because we post a lot. And if you ask questions, I get to answer them. So with that being said, I am going to call it a night. I will see you guys the next live. I want to say probably Monday. Probably Monday will be the next one. I'll try to post it a day in advance. I sometimes like to pop up, but I'll try to make sure I give you guys heads up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, real quick, a lot of content coming. Just shot about 8 videos. They're in the editing stage, so be on the lookout for that. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. Stay quarantined. Drink a lot of water. Check on your old people. All right.